Good morning. I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational program. Trying to get the glare off of my. Okay, there we go. Last time we spoke, which I spoke with you, it's about 3 days ago. I had begun finally to talk more about fine motor skills, which are essential in the primary grades, because that's how we can identify if a student has, let me get these glasses, if a student is able to reconstruct what we've instructed them to do, from writing to being able to follow directions, all these basic skills that are so needed in the early grades. And as you could see from the description box, we're still seeing some residual effects of the post pandemic period and especially students, young children who did not have the benefit of developing those skills in a preschool or kindergarten environment prior to coming to school in first or second grade. And I have friends who are teachers. I taught just a little introduction. I've taught for 27 plus years as both a classroom teacher, a home teacher, homebound hospital teacher, a collaborative kindergarten teacher, as well as in high schools with programs to make sure that students are integrated properly into the general ed program. So, as lately, the most latest position was as a teacher, a special ed consultant to high schools. But here I am thinking back about how my classroom developed fine motor skills, and I stated that I did it as a game. We did masks, we created objects that, rainforest objects. But even when you get into high school, there's that fine motor skill that's necessary, especially with students who have cognitive delays when they're in science and even using the keyboard. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I ran across this article and, I was just Googling fine motor skills. And I'm always really interested in brain science. And this one neuroscience article, which I put a link in the description box, was talking about the red nucleus. Now, I had never heard about that particular part of the brain. And it appears that this is some recent research as scientists are able to get deeper and deeper into what actually what parts of our brain actually affect and our functionality affect our functionality. And so this red nucleus, um, they said it's in the rostral part of the midbrain, and it's involved in fine motor coordination. And it's red because of the presence of iron and ferritin. Just feel it, it actually is red. But the thing about it is it's the size of a pea, but yet this particular structure in the brain actually does affect how coordinated we are in our fine motor skills to execute precise movements. Now, I was wondering, okay, what kind of precise movements? And I was thinking just cutting with scissors, but this goes from threading a needle up into the playing specific keys on the piano or in an instrument when person who's a musician is playing a concerto or jazz or anything, and a surgeon's precision in conducting a surgery, the brain surgery, any kind of surgery, all takes this fine motor skill development. So when we're teaching children, regardless of what their uh, cognitive abilities are, we are actually strengthening their fine motor skills when we teach things or activities that have to do with fine motor. And the article that I've included talks about that as a child practices or as we practice the simple activity of grasping and picking up things, that the connections in the red nucleus are made stronger. And it goes back to that neuroplasticity of the brain. So we must continue, no matter how difficult it might seem that a child is being able to be taught these skills, we have to continue to encourage them and teach our fine motor skills. We may be teaching the future world's future neurosurgeon. You never know. So, okay, we'll talk a little bit more about this in the next time. And thank you so much for being with me today. Please subscribe, please share, and we'll look a little bit more into how fine motor skills can be developed in our next YouTube. Have a great week. Take care. Bye bye.